Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tippy the Star and you are tuned into the Justice channel. Today we will be speaking about oral exams, how to prepare for your oral exams, study tips, what to expect on the day, and some clue tips or tricks on how to answer your questions. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. An oral exam is an exam where the examiner will pose questions to the candidate in spoken form. Candidates qualify for an oral exam when they obtain a mark from 40% to 49%. Anything below that, it's a fail, and anything above that, it's a pass. So your marks will determine whether you qualify for an oral exam or not. After the results are out, you need to send an email to the LPC informing them whether you want to do your oral exam via Zoom meeting or physical meeting. Then they will send you an SMS informing you of the venue, the time, and the date of the oral exam. In addition, they will publish a schedule on their website, which is a list of all the candidates in each province, the mark that they have obtained in the paper, and the date, the time, and the venue where the oral exams will be held. To give you an understanding of the turnaround times of the LPC, right now I'm in 2024, and in the first sitting, the board exams were written on 13 and 14 March, and the results were out on the 15th of May. And the schedule was published on the 27th of May. The oral exams were conducted throughout June, the month of June. So that is the turnaround time that you can expect when you qualify for your board exams. Okay, now that we know what are oral exams, I want us to look into the difference between written exams and oral exams, because we are more familiar with written exams that we are scared of doing oral exams because oral exams are not that popular. So I think looking at the difference between the two will help you to calm you down and to challenge your fears. Okay, so number one, the difference between oral and written exam is that in your written exam, the spotlight is not on you. So all eyes are not on you. Uh, in the exam room, there are um, moderators, but they are only there to check whether people are cheating or they're there to help you when you have questions. But they are actually not there to um, listen to your answer. So we are more free, natural, and authentic when we are writing our written exams, because there isn't a lot of attention towards us. Unlike in the oral exam, the spotlight is on you, all eyes are on you. So there is a bit of pressure, and you must be aware of that, be mindful of that, because if you are not mindful of the pressure, it might cause a mental block or stage fright. Okay, so to counter that, I would advise that you do things that calms you down. Do them before the exam, do them days before the exam, whether it is praying, meditating, listening to music, singing. And it's very advisable to also drink a lot of water, because water calms us down. So I also want you to understand that the examiner is not there to judge your physical appearance, how you look, your physical appearances. They're actually there to listen to your answer. So don't focus too much on whether they are gonna judge your physical appearance or anything else. Focus on your answer, your knowledge, and your understanding of the subject. Okay. Number two difference between oral and written exam is that in your written exam you have all the time in the world, not all the time in the world, but you take your time to go through the question and highlight whatever you want to highlight, underline whatever you want to underline, go through, repeat the question over and over again until you understand. You can also call the moderator to come and explain certain things to you if you don't understand. If there's an error, you are able to call the moderator, right? That is in your written exam. So you have time to go through your question as many times as you want. Now in the oral exam, the question is posed to you. It's not in written form, so it is in spoken form. I would advise that if you don't understand the question, you can ask them to repeat the question over and over again until you understand the question. Okay, my other suggestion or idea that I had after my oral exam was that I could have maybe asked them to write down the questions whilst they are asking me the question, so that I do not forget the question. But that is something that you'll have to ask permission for. Okay, if they allow it, then you can do it. If they don't allow it, then it's fine. You can ask them to repeat the question, and also repeat the question to yourself until you fully understand the question. Okay, so that is number two. Number three, in your written exam, you take time to think about the answer. Okay, there is a lot of ways that people conduct themselves when they are thinking about the answer. Some people play with their hair, some people will be looking side to side, some people will be making a sound that we use as human beings when we are thinking about something, like uh, um um that is natural for us to do that. Some people will be tapping their feet, holding their chin, and that is okay. Biting their lips, some people bite their lips. So there's a lot of way that people, in their natural form, authentic form, they conduct themselves when they are thinking about their answer. It's very natural. It's okay for you to do that. The problem is that in the oral exam, we feel like we do not have to show the process that we go through in trying to remember the answer, right? So what I want you to do in the oral exam is that show the process. It's okay to show them the behind the scenes, because in a written exam they do not get the chance to see the behind the scenes. So when we are in the oral exam, we pressurize ourselves to not show the behind the scenes, and only fools speak without thinking. All right, so in an exam you need to think about your answer. Be free and be in your natural form. Be authentic in how you think about your answer. Okay, don't stress about whether they are gonna judge your posture, whether they are gonna judge your conduct. They are not there to judge that. They are there to judge your answer, your understanding of the concepts, your understanding of the general knowledge. Okay, So that is what is important. Your posture is not important. Your how you conduct yourself is not that important. They are there to pose a question and for you to give them an answer, and your marks will be determined by your answer, not your posture or the process that you went through to answer the question. No, but the answer that you will be giving them. So I want you to be kind to yourself in that regard. Allow yourself to be authentic when you are thinking about your answer. The last difference between an oral exam and a written exam is that in your written exam, when the examiner gets the answer sheet, they do not see the behind the scenes, as I have mentioned in the previous point. So immediately after reading the question, they read your answer. They do not know how you got to the answer, the process that you took to get to the answer. So there is an illusion in the oral exam that immediately after they ask you the question, you need to answer the question. Okay, I need you to get rid of that illusion. All right, because naturally you need to think about your answer before you say it. That is the natural form. So you cannot immediately within a second just tell them the answer. It's not always possible. Sometimes it's a difficult question that you need to think about very hard. So I want you to take your time in thinking about your answer. Do not feel pressurized to immediately give them the answer, because in the written exam, when they get the answer sheet, they immediately get the answer without knowing the process that you went to in the exam room. They will have to see the process that you take to think about the question. Okay, it is okay to do that. Do not worry about the time, because time has been allocated for you to come and answer the question. Time has been allocated for you. They have taken time to come and pose questions and listen to your answers. So it's fine. You have time. Do not pressurize yourself into immediately saying the answer because you feel like you are wasting their time. No, you have time. Time has been allocated for you to come and do your oral exam. So use the time. If you fear wasting the time, I would advise that before you start your oral exam, ask them how much time you have for the exam. Ask them how much time you have for each question, so that you have an idea of how long you must take to think about your answer, you know, so that you don't pressurize yourself. You don't assume that you need to answer your question within seconds after the question has been asked. Okay, so be very patient with yourself when you are answering the questions.